Welcome. Any inspiration came to you? I would not say any doubts, yet they are welcome. Any question? Welcome. Whatever comes has to go, so it will well gone also. Mm. Ah, yes, fine.
Namaste.
Yeah.
Ганги. I'm seeking maybe confirmation or guidance.
Confirmation. What the hell?
Last time when I saw you in Portugal, you told me drop the seeker. I did it.
Then why, who wants a confirmation then?
So no, the problem, the process is I'm observing whatever I do. And what comes, sometimes I don't want, but it comes. Like working in a corporate,
Yeah.
I have to.
I told you to drop the seeker. Now you transform the seeker into an observer. So drop
Exactly.
the observer.
Then how to?
The observer is maintained by how?
That's the question. When I say, okay, who is observing it? It comes always to mind. Okay, me. Then I'm starting with the eye process.
But the answer to this question, who is the observer, for example, the answer will not be mental. The mind has to disappear here. And if it is present, any answer is presented, it's through the mind, you ignore it. Ignore, finally, ignore whatever the mind presents you. Because otherwise a presentation needs a presentator. Then you transform the seeker into an observer, into a presentator. You always create something. And whatever you create will go on changing. And then you will seek again. You will seek the idea that the mind can the best present you, which is called enlightenment. And then you want to fit your attitude, your behavior, or whatever you feel or know to this idea. All this is still working with the mind, huh? Or be enslaved with the mind.
And then how can I drop it now, the observer?
Like this, don't give him food. So ignore how. Because if you don't ignore how, it means you still believe that the mind can give you an enlightenment.
No, that's I'm certain, yeah.
Hmm?
I'm certain that the mind cannot give me enlightenment.
Okay, then why do you follow how? What is how? It's a thought. It's the mind, no? And there is not a mind alone. There is an owner of the mind. Hmm? The owner of the mind, if you drop the food and you remain alone with the owner, who is the owner? How do you call it also? I. Does I, how long I can remain without gluing something to it? Or no?
No, nothing.
Then keep quiet. Then keep quiet. Keeping quiet means not to the mind I address. Keep quiet where I've lost its reality. Keep quiet. That's what you are. The mind comes again. The mind comes again. Ignore it. Because it will always come, you know.
Yeah.
Even in the form of no mind, it will come. Ignore it. It doesn't mean anything. It's just changes of states, of experiences, of feelings, that's all. So, whatever is presented, ignore.
Still, how can I keep going then?
That is the preoccupation of the mind. Keep quiet. It will go on by itself, as it is already going on by itself just now, forever and forever. It doesn't need you to be enlightened to go on, I tell you. Huh?
Good thing.
Those preoccupations come only to the doer, to the owner, to me, to I am somebody, you know? But you come to satsang for something else, normally. So to stop, to want to stop. Because you see, if you want to stop, it means you believe you run somewhere.
But I cannot stop because it's not me. It's not.
If you cannot stop, means of course the person cannot stop. This is going on. I am not this person. I'm not it. There is nothing wrong to sit, to stop, not to stop. It's the movie. It's even said it's the dream. Keep quiet where you always are. And that you cannot figure it out. This much you have to hear. You can never. There is no exceptions. You can never figure it out. Otherwise you create, I got it, I attained it, I, but not alone. I as a person in this movie. Then you may be happy for a while, but it will not last. So in the end, one is fed up to always have been deluded by his own concepts or beliefs. So it's enough. And at that moment you can hear. You are always yourself. Just keep quiet with your mind. Don't catch it or ignore it. Let it go on. Let it express itself as it does always anyway. Don't take it personally. You can also say so. And if you do, know that it is in the movie. It's also as good. Because you see, remembrance, forgetfulness, all this is in the dream. What you are, which you can never figure it out, is always there. So be still and let things happen. So the movie is over about confirmation. Another one is going on. Now the doggy. Smelling dog. Let's sit here, that's good. So, something else. It's nice. It's a blessed dog. Yeah.
I thought something has happened.
Yeah.
And now I see that nothing
No.
again. Nothing happened again.
Wonderful. You had to get something to happen to finally see nothing happened. Excellent. Perfect. You see, one hears generally only what he knows. Or there is happening, and that's why one searches. So I would wish to go in non-happening. Not the sentence you said, but in non-happening. When at least it will be quiet. And you run. You never see that it's part of the pendulum of the mind. It is whatever is expressed. Let it be non-happening, let it be happening. Whatever is expressed is dual by the fact to be expressed. There is no other way. Otherwise you would not have an expression. So it is like the pendulum. Happenings, oh great, non-happenings, I got it. Or the contrary, there was never an happening. Oh, I'm smashed, it's a big happening. And then whoop, and whoop, it can last for a while here. And then you lose your balance and oops, again there is something. So you have to understand that's the mind, that is the apparent world, that's where I live, who I am in reality. Is just where I'm already quiet, there, and where the need to experience and that is gone. Something.
For me, a little bit similar like this. It's nothing happened. Nothing happened for Mimi.
Nothing happened?
Yes. And what I see,
Oh, nothing happened.
it's always happening.
Something happened. Yeah.
And then what I see, I have a mind, and the mind have his own life. I mean, it's and it's not up to
You
me.
have no control about that.
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah.
And for this body is also is the same. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes I'm sick and
Yeah.
not sick and healthy and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So in this way, I don't have too much control. What is the happening
You don't have a
in
control, no.
in the mind and in the emotion heart and
And even if you think you have a control, it was meant to be this way. So
yes. So
can we continue? So keep quiet. But not as a doing, or not as a result of undoing.
yes,
Yeah.
this is what I started to see. It's
Don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. Yeah, it's better to have the language of the understand, right? Everybody thinks it's a blessing, but it's to say, no, I'm keeping quiet. And it's also a blessing. Good. Anything? Yes, please. Our fiery Indra.
Ganga Miraji.
Oh,
I don't even have a question. I don't have a question. I have a request.
okay.
So I would like us to just be quiet for a moment here together. I mean, we're always speaking about being
But I
quiet.
don't think anybody can oblige me. Because I'm already quiet. And I believe that everybody is quiet by nature.
So a moment of silence.
It will come when it comes.
Thank you. Okay.
You're my dear friend, but here nobody can command it.
Thank you.
It comes naturally, nobody has questions.
Namaste.
Namaste.
You just said that at a certain point there is no more need for experiencing,
For
yeah,
what? No need for what?
no need for experiencing
Yeah.
of the self,
Okay.
as I understood correctly. So the question arose: is the self really an experience?
So you didn't understand correctly.
Well, probably.
If there is no need to experience, you said? If
Yes.
there is no need to experience, how your question comes afterwards, because you ask if the self could be experienced. If there is no need, means maybe who is there so much real that needs to experience what cannot be experienced, means its own self.
Yeah, so it must be that the self is experiencing and everything.
No,
or
it is always somebody who is experiencing. It's not a self.
Mhm.
It's not what you really are. No.
So there is this form, human form or I amness that is experiencing.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
and the self is only observing.
No, why should he observe? He's free. Let him also not observe. Why when you want to impose some action or some attitude to the self? He has nothing to do. It's somebody who cannot bear not to do anything. This belongs to somebody, that feeling. Not to what you are.
So it is the person that is somehow claims the experiencing.
Person too much, yeah. A person too much.
But if it's not the self that is experiencing something, then what is it?
There is no experience. The mind cannot catch it. The mind cannot comprehend what is it. Otherwise, there would be a description again, very limited with the mind of somebody, even the smartest one who may have the smartest mind cannot comprehend that. Because the mind appears because of this, because of what is ever still. And that's what you are.
So it's just beingness.
But why to call it? If you call beingness, you will have moments of non-beingness, and then you will be, again you are fact. No, it is not beingness. Not even that. Beingness, you see, it's when you have the idea of non-beingness before. They are linked. They are concepts. And if you label with a concept, you are limited by the owner of that concept. And it goes on changing, and then again you will search. Don't be deluded by whatever answer you get. Let it look like similar to what you hear, but what you hear is always what you are not. So?
That's why there are so many names for it, probably. The awareness and
Forget it.
business.
Forget it. Because you see, when one utters a word, anyway, it will be differently meant with everyone. And it's not it. You can't utter. And if you utter, it's the expression of your own self. No problem with that. There is a problem when there is somebody thinking, it's like this. No, it's like this. And then, of course, fights of opinions are there. But then they speak of something else, not of what is. And when I say what is, it's really beyond isness, not isness. It's a way to speak.
But what is it like then?
Oh my God. I don't understand that to be freed from this need. This is freedom.
Okay.
So hello. My mind would like to have an answer on the question, is there free will or not? So I asked different people, different masters, and they all have or had have a different opinion about it.
No,
So-
I never saw any different opinion about that
Me too, I
from
saw.
the master. Never. There was never a different opinion. There is no free will.
So is there free will or
There
not?
is a free will with the body,
Yes.
with the mind of somebody. It is destined, you see. It is destined. Free will means what? The contrary of the... Anyway, this is destined. This is predestined.
What do you mean by that?
They have a destiny.
Yeah.
They took birth with some luggage. They have a destiny. You can change you think you can change your destiny by choosing this instead of that and all that. This is attached to this. But this is not what you are.
Yeah, this is what I know, of course. But
Then from where comes this question?
my mind wants to know. Somehow my mind needs the confirmation about...
Yeah, but then you give importance to the owner of this mind. It must look real then. For that one, it looks like you have a certain will, which is not true. In truth, no. Everything is already done.
So that means my body-mind system has the ability to
No, the
choose this,
illusion. The illusion.
or let's call it the ego illusion, whatever. So has the ability to change things, to change
It
patterns.
thinks so. It thinks so. But whatever happens, it will happen. But the owner always thinks so.
So that means the owner thinks so, but it's not like this.
Whatever he thinks, it to happen this way. But he thinks that he chooses. The owner.
So, but the owner, let's say, for example, the quantum physics, the neuroscience, of course we have all the knowledge how to change things, how to change behaviors, how to change patterns. And of course, just a second.
Nobody is successful.
Just a second. And of course, it's a body, mind, ego thing, but to change things. And of course, I know the true nothing, or however you call it, is just there. But the mind wants to know, can I change? Do I have an influence or not? Is there free will or not?
If you want to know what's really, there is nothing you can do. There is no doer. Only you are a doer when you think so. If that is gone, then what? And where is the question of free will or no free will, predestination or not? That doesn't come anymore. That is freedom, no? Not to be preoccupied by all this kind of understanding. This is freedom.
So how do you manage to talk before about it? How do you manage not to be, let's say, identified with your story?
But identified or not, who cares? If you have seen who you are, who cares? It's the movie. I don't say to people, don't be identified, be detached and all that. That is the yoga part, maybe. Here it's about freedom, about to know who you are. And to know means to realize who you are, whatever. Be still where you already are, which is always there. But we confuse with actions, with the actor, and so on.